Hey everybody, a happy Monday to you. Thanks for joining us here on Northern Life. A beautiful week for the most part. With the weather early on, we're going to be seeing those 50s. It was cold this past weekend, so nice to see some sunshine returning perhaps, Ryan. And it's going to be an interesting week ahead, so life is good, you know?
Everything's good. Yeah, honestly on Friday too is honestly kind of cool to see some rain for the first time in a little while.
And it washes away the salt a little bit, you know, and just makes things, it makes spring happen a little bit faster. Seeing some greener grass as well in the Twin Ports, so there we go. Bring it on.
Always nice. Hey, it sounds like one of our microphones might be buzzing, so I think I'm going to take it out of my pocket and make sure that folks at home can hear us.
Working.
But let's move on to our next story here. As parts of Wisconsin continue to recover from flooding, sadly, fish are ending up in places they should not be in. So in one part of Wisconsin, sturgeon were actually spotted outside of an asphalt company hanging out in a puddle in that company's parking lot.
Oh, jeez.
So definitely not where it should be, Hunter.
Maybe they go on vacation. They like to go to different places and see the different sights, and it doesn't look deep enough for a sturgeon.
No. So that would be quite the sight if you walk out to your car and you go, yeah, maybe I'll go back inside and wait things out a little bit.
Yes, if they're in season though. Easy fishing. Very easy
very
fishing
easy.
right there. Yeah, doesn't get much easier than that. Coming up on today's show, a welfare check ends with a hilarious story, and a new survey shows most patients are slacking off when it comes to completing their homework. You got to do that homework at home there, right?
Always got to do your homework, you know, especially too after going to the orthodontist as a kid. You know, you definitely, for the kids out there, you better wear your retainer.
Oh my
gosh.
That's
one thing. Those teeth shift as you get older.
Seriously.
So, when the adults say something, you know, they're looking out for you.
And if you know, the kids aren't spending the money on the braces, the parents are, so maybe the kids don't appreciate it as much. So wear that retainer for your parents' sake, you know?
For the adults out there, make your kids pay for it.
Yes, there you go.
Great idea. Well, the snow has gone across much of Duluth, and a lot is now being exposed after our winter season. But this in Massachusetts takes the cake for the wildest sight. A massive mound of snow is melting there, now showing a car that had been completely buried underneath. And as the images went viral online, the city did have to issue a statement explaining that these vehicles are city property. However, they are part of a fleet of out-of-service cars stored in that lot as they await disposal. So they're not, you know, not going to cost the taxpayers anything.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, those are some crazy images. It must have been a ton of snow to crush the vehicle, you know?
Yeah.
So that must take a lot of weight in order to do that.
Some driver just immediately said, is it okay if I, you know, cover these vehicles as I'm pushing the snow around? And said somebody had to approve that.
Must have, yeah, honestly. And they did get a ton of snow though too, so a lot of it's probably just from the snow itself. So that's a wild sight right there. Thankfully, we don't have that much snow here.
Yeah, it sounds like a couple of snow emergencies for Boston this past year. Hey, you need to see this. A fed-up dumpster company in California emptied a full truckload onto the yard of a customer they say failed to pay their bill. It sounds like Martin Perez, the owner of that garbage disposal company, said his client requested that dumpster to dispose of trash at that home. However, they failed to pay the rental and the trash disposal fee after multiple requests. So Perez said he had already lost money on that dumpster delivery and pickup and could not bear the cost of also having to get rid of the trash. So he essentially gave it back.
Hey, that brought the homeowner out real quick. Look at that. He's out there. He's getting angry.
He's transferring money in his accounts at the moment. Yeah.
What's the old saying, Ryan? Mess around, find out?
Yeah.
I think that's the guy messed around a little bit too much.
Yeah, might have been a different word, but
yeah, right. That's maybe not mess.
Now it's messing around the yard.
Literally, a ton of mess right there. How about that for a pun?
Big mess, big mess. Well, for sports fans out there, the World Cup coming to North America this summer, and international soccer fans expected to fill Kansas City. But here's something you didn't necessarily think about. They will be exposed to some cultural differences here, especially when it comes to tipping. So some restaurants in Kansas City are worrying that workers could miss out on a little extra income since tipping isn't actually common in many countries out there. One local restaurant plans to add that 18% service charge to all their bills as a safety net for their staff.
That's very interesting. I've never considered myself a very worldly fella. I did not know that the tipping was not really that common outside of the country. Must mean that they pay their employees a little bit better. Is that how that works?
I would assume so.
Okay.
I would assume so. Yeah, I know it's not the norm in a lot of places.
So have when you went outside of the country, did you tip these different waiters and waitresses?
I think a lot of the term is tourist traps. I think a lot of the tourist traps know that Americans are there and they say, well, you're used to tipping. How about you tip us? While other places, you know, like I think it was Italy. Italy is a place where it's not necessarily required. So, yeah. But down in Mexico too, I think, you know, it's a sign of good faith. You know, in some places still.
I did not know that. So it's really only the United States and maybe Mexico that you still tip a little bit.
United States for the most part.
Okay, wow, great.
Yeah. I'm not sure about Canada.
Sure.
Hey, Canadians watching, let us know. I tipped last time I was in Canada.
Okay.
Not at McDonald's, but at a brewery. There
we
so it is good to be part of a good group. And let's talk about Canada. The University of Calgary celebrated its 60th anniversary by breaking the Guinness World Record for the largest gathering of people dressed in dinosaur costumes. According to local media there, the university's president and vice chancellor said that old record now extinct. The existing record, 468, and it sounds like the school may have had a total of 682 participants.
Oh, we can beat that here in Duluth. Let's do something at the station. Why not, Ryan?
Who's paying for all those costumes?
That's another good question. Yeah, probably not us. Those are probably very expensive.
Yeah, probably not us.
Yeah.
But it does look like a lot of fun.
Yeah, 100%. I know Matt Rasmussen has one of those costumes. He came on the air one time and talked about that, so maybe we can get him to foot the bill for everybody.
Yeah, Matt's got it.
Yeah.
Matt's got it. Winter is long gone, but many folks did a polar plunge for the Special Olympics. But have you ever seen a polar bear do the polar plunge? An adorable bear at the Oregon Zoo in Portland put the polar in polar plunge. The Oregon Zoo, that is, releasing this video of Kalik, a 3-year-old male polar bear lounging in an ice-filled bathtub.
I guess polar bears probably used to the cold water, right? So they probably, when they go swimming, they probably want the water nice and cold. That makes sense.
Probably love it. I bet their muscles just feel so good.
Yeah, right? Yeah, they got the best muscles right there. The lactic acid completely out of there.
Just gone.
Good for them.
Gone forever. Well, before we head to break here, a boy in Upper Michigan may win an art competition that gets him on TV, 20 grand in cash, and his art placed in a museum. His name is Odin from Norway, Michigan, loves dinosaurs and drawing or incorporating nature into his art. He's joined the America's Most Artistic Kid competition, and it sounds like he's actually made it to the semifinals, and he's hoping to win in that final bracket.
Hey, that kid has money now. That kid likes dinosaurs. Let's have him foot the bill for the big, huge costume thing.
Help us out. Help us out, little
please.
Man. Good on you. Well, coming up, motivation before summer. We'll be back on Northern Life. Welcome back, everybody. The Mayo Clinic says now is a great time to get fit for summer. Doctors say start now. It can help you get in better shape by the time we experience some better weather, Hunter. And if you already work out, increase your intensity. But if you're just starting, begin with some light daily activity and then build up from there. Now, experts recommend combining cardio with strength training along with a balanced diet. And don't rush it. Trying to do too much too fast can lead to injury.
I think you and I are in very different boats right now when it comes to our workout plans, because I know you're running 16 miles. You just ran it this past weekend, and I need to start getting into the ease of working out a little bit.
I mean, it's all about what's the routine. Building a routine, just implementing it in little things, then it grows to larger things.
Because I'm sure some days are harder than others, but if you stick to it, it's eventually you're going to see results.
Man, it is hard though. But anything's possible. You're capable of all sorts of great things. So
amen.
Start the road now for the folks out there who want to get their summer fit on.
Get her done.
Yeah, just like when we were back in school, it is important to do your homework. And when it comes to physical therapy, experts say the best way to improve strength and mobility after injury or surgery is to do what you're actually told.
That's very true. Gwen Baumgardner shows us why most patients are slacking off on home exercises.
I'm at 95.
69-year-old Purity Snelling is putting in the work to heal from 2 surgeries to her knee. While she's making great strides now, her initial recovery got off on the wrong foot.
I was not recovering at first from the therapy because I was not doing what I was instructed to do with the physical therapist.
A survey from Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center shows 3 out of 4 patients do not complete their physical therapy homework.
Up with the right, down with the left.
Physical therapist Kyle Smith says home exercises are crucial for progress.
Those couple hours in the clinic are probably not enough to fully achieve the goals and the change that we want to make here. So you are going to have to do a little more on your end of things.
Among the reasons patients fail to complete their home program, they forget, not enough time, patients find it boring or repetitive, they have pain or fear of making it worse.
It's important for us to clarify those things and find avenues to make those exercises more easily accessible for them.
Patients can get some time on the clock with simple adjustments to daily activities, like parking a little farther away at work or the grocery store, balancing on one leg while brushing teeth, or even doing squats or stretches in front of the TV.
Smith also encourages patients to be honest with their therapist.
Your therapist will definitely work with you to make the changes necessary to make it easier to be compliant with that home program.
Snelling says doing the homework has had a big impact on the time she spends with her grandson.
I can carry him up the steps. It's made my life more enjoyable for me to be with this baby.
Proving there really are enough hours in the week to get a leg up on better health. Gwen Baumgardner, CBS News, Los Angeles.
So do that homework at home, folks. Definitely. I mean, also surgery. I've never, thankfully, had any major surgery, but it's very, very expensive, and you could ruin everything if you don't end up doing that physical therapy. It's almost like you didn't get anything done to you. So it's very important to continue to do that.
I slightly tore a ligament in my knee during college, and it still isn't the same ever since. But that's because I have not done my physical therapy.
Really?
Very well. So I complain about it all the time now, doing all this running. I'm like, my right knee is killing me. Meanwhile, like the muscles that are needed to support my knee aren't in the best shape, even though we're doing all this running. It needs a specific activity, and that's obviously what we're seeing there with physical therapy.
Do you think you're going to need another surgery in the future when you get older, perhaps?
I think probably. Yeah?
Oh my gosh.
But funny enough, Mary and I were on a double date probably a month or two ago now. But that person on the double date is a physical therapist, and so she was telling us that there are a lot of folks that come in and they say, like, this still hurts on me, and she's like, well, have you been doing the activities? And they say, no, I haven't been. Been doing them. So it is going to hurt. I keep complaining about my thing, but I haven't even put in the work to change that.
But like you said, at the routine, as you keep doing it, it's going to hurt less and less and less, and eventually you're going to not feel any pain, and it's going to be maybe even better than it originally was. So it's worth it to put in the effort.
It certainly is. Certainly is. Well, pretty hard to believe that the 2026 NFL Draft is coming up later this week. It'll be hosted in Pittsburgh this Thursday through Saturday. That countdown clock in downtown area, prepping for fans, players, and those media arrivals.
Are you one of those guys that keeps up on the draft? Do you watch? I had some friends in college that had like 4 or 5 different TVs in front of them, and they watched everything. I couldn't get behind that.
I don't think so. I think it's always kind of exciting to see who your first pick is as a team, either the Vikings or the Packers, just locking in on that. But then, Saturday's drafts are so long, and how many ever round, like 3 rounds or whatever they have. It's like, oh wow, I'm really excited about our 6th round draft pick. And, sadly for a lot of those players, they get drafted, and a lot of them, don't end up making the team.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Maybe J.J. McCarthy should have been a re-examination, perhaps. No, just kidding. I want to give him another year. Come on, I think he's got 1 more year, and then we get rid of him. Hunter's
a big Kyler Murray guy.
Hey, let's go. If he's down, I'm down.
Next time you're in the pop aisle, Gatorade is shifting their branding focus to remind consumers of their primary focus, hydration. The brand typically associated with sports and athletes is expanding its hydration expertise to help everyday people better across their movements and activities. The 3 big changes Gatorade wants to make is to prioritize hydration education, clear messaging on their packaging, and have some new formulas with lower sugar.
Interesting. Yeah, I've always liked the G2 or whatever they had back in high school. So another little rebrand there to replenish some electrolytes.
I feel like the only time I have Gatorade now is when I'm sick.
Yes, yeah, seriously.
Well, hey, coming up, a family worried about their grandma learns she's okay, and there's a reason she didn't call. Welcome back. You got to hear this story. In Ohio, a 91-year-old woman sparked concern after not answering calls from her family. So police responded to her home for a welfare check, fearing the worst, but what they found was far from it. Apparently, the woman was safe in her room, listen to this, playing video games and trying to beat her high score, and officers say everyone had a good laugh at the end.
You can't put the game down for a second to answer the call? My gosh, that's awesome.
Sadly, they did not include that moment on the body cam of her walking in the room being like, oh, she's just playing video games.
That must have been the biggest sigh of relief ever, because I don't think a lot of those calls end too well, unfortunately.
I don't blame her, too, because sometimes when I'm playing video games, especially back in the day, you'd start at like 4 p.m., then all of a sudden it'd be 11 p.m.
Yes!
And go, oh my goodness, I haven't even left this room.
And you're this close to beating your high score. It's I got so close every single time.
So
you're actually getting angry, you know?
Good on you, Grandma. That's awesome.
Keep it going for sure. Beat that high score, but answer the phone every once in a while.
Yeah, that'd be good.
How about this one? A 94-year-old recording of Amelia Earhart has been revived thanks to some cool tech and hard work by researchers at the Library of Congress.
Let's check it out with Patrick Cornell.
A nearly 100-year-old recording of famed aviator Amelia Earhart has been revived.
Something happened which has never happened before in my 12 years of flying.
It's a snippet from a speech she gave in London on May 22nd, 1932, broadcast to New York, detailing a heart-pounding moment while flying solo across the Atlantic on a 15-hour flight.
That is, the altimeter, the instrument required to register altitude, height above ground, period.
That crackled clip included in 78 RPM record format as a trinket in the back of Earhart's book, The Fun of It, which released 5 years before her infamous disappearance.
The hand swung around the dial in such a manner that I knew it was out of commission for the rest of the night.
94 years later, researchers at the Library of Congress found an original record. Made of cheap plastic and cardboard, the antique needed the touch of specialized equipment dubbed Irene, which uses a focal probe to map the record's grooves, creating a digital format that anyone can now listen to on the library's website. Transitioning from history to mystery, officials in Los Angeles County are asking, what exactly is this foul-smelling chunk of ice that seemingly smashed through the roof of a local home? Pictures provided by the county supervisor show the aftermath of the aerial invader's impact. A resident who was home at the time says he heard the explosion but was not hurt, finding the yellow-tinged dirty ice on the couch. In a letter to the FAA, County Supervisor Janice Hahn says the homeowner believes an airplane was overhead at the time the object crash-landed. She's asking for a thorough investigation. For Take a Look at This grossness, I'm Patrick Cornell.
Mystery ice is never a good thing.
Yeah. What do those two stories have to do with each other? That was, I guess, two airplanes.
It was flight. Yeah.
Yes. Talk about technology, though. How can you get that out of just this little thing of cardboard? You just take a sample with the laser. That's the cool side of technology right there.
We live in a really cool time.
Yes.
Yep. Glad that that's been resurrected in a way. Well, how about some more history for us out here? Some of Hollywood's most iconic films are making a digital comeback for movie lovers to enjoy. The Library of Congress, once again, been safeguarding more than 145,000 highly flammable nitrate prints of classics like Casablanca and Disney favorites like Dumbo inside their fireproof vault near Washington. Preservation specialists there are now using the latest tech to make high-def digital copies of those flicks to help keep them alive for the remainder of time.
Do you know, I don't know if this is a young kid thing, and this might sound like an old man thing, but it seems like the younger kids are like, the newer it is, the better it is. But you can go back in any period of time, no matter what, and you can find some good stuff.
Certainly can. Wise words. We'll see you in a bit.
Okay, so I forgot that was a shorter block of our show here. So let's go dive deeper into this, what I was just talking about before the show. You can go to any period of time and find some really, really cool stuff. You go back and just because it's an old movie in black and white doesn't mean it's going to be horrible. You can find really, really good stuff no matter what the decade is. Even back in like the 1600s, like plays, there's some that are good, some that are horrible.
The quality of the story.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so look back. Don't be afraid to go back in time and look at some cool stuff.
Dust off those VHSs, rewind them in the rewinding machine and have at it.
Hit that play button for sure. Coming up tomorrow here on Northern Life, Ryan got an invite to take me to Two Harbors, where the two of us stopped by the Aspirus Lakeview Hospital, getting the chance to learn how to play Mahjong. We got to play with a group who gets together every week as the two of us try to wrap our heads around the whole thing. My head still hurts, Ryan.
My head still hurts. What an awesome group, though. Shout out to my new friend and teacher, Mary, who helped me learn how to play Mahjong.
Yes.
Yeah, really sweet group. They play every week, and so they said, we got to get these guys up here and teach them how to play Mahjong, because we told you, weeks ago, how it's grown in popularity across the country.
Seriously, and the patience it takes to teach us two something new, I mean, they all had a lot of patience, so thank you for working with us for sure.
Yeah, and then tomorrow you'll see all the fun that we had, too.
Yes, it was an absolute blast. We love you all so much.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Monday.
Find some time to throw a line, or just head outside to unwind. That's the life in the great North Woods. Hike or bike, whatever you like. Get out in the day, enjoy the night. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, this is Northern Life.